Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews. I'm really curious to know what you guys think on this matter. So many YouTubers are talking about if the Snyder Cut beats Avengers Endgame. One, I think it's not a good topic because they are two different movies. One was a conclusion of Marvel's great job over there with, they put a lot of work and effort to build that universe and to get to that moment where everything concludes and there's a lot of callbacks and things like extend the story to the next phase of Marvel. They really earned the money that they've made and the respect that they've made and the trust that they have built over at Marvel because of the work of Kevin Feige. And I'm sorry, I'm coming from a Marvel and DC fan. DC's led me astray. There at one point I really didn't believe. I really couldn't trust Zach because of the fact that there is flaws in Man of Steel to me, and there is flaws in BVS, and Justice League was a smash hit. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was a masterpiece. But I mean, there was flaws in, those movies that he's made, and I didn't like Wonder Woman. I didn't like Wonder Woman 84. I liked Aquaman, but it was one of those campy things to me. It felt very campy, and I couldn't really take it seriously, but it was a good movie. I'd say before even Justice League came out, Snyder Cut, I would say Aquaman was the best DC movie out there. And I sort of like Shazam. I would probably put Shazam maybe over Aquaman, maybe. I'm not quite sure. That's like, they're kind of even. But to be honest, I mean, yeah, the Snyder Cut beats all those movies, even the movies he did previously, out of the water. But to be honest, you cannot compare a movie that literally is like their start of like the Avengers and like that's literally like it's literally like the first Avengers movie. It's like their start of like, okay, they're the Avengers now, but they're the Justice League. I mean, if you want to compare the first Avengers to the Snyder Cut, go right ahead. But I mean, even then, you really can't compare because again, there was a build up. Everything had to be like perfectly built to that moment where that happened. I mean, it makes more sense if you compare Avengers 1 to Snyder Cut, because that makes more sense because they both build up and they got to their first movie of them all together to make their team movie. But you cannot compare Snyder Cut to Avengers Endgame. That doesn't make any sense at all. It literally does not make any sense. You cannot compare a conclusion movie that has storytelling and the slow moments because, I mean, it had to build up and ramp up to the moment of the finale of Endgame. Like there was because you can't have a movie where it was part one and part two, Infinity War and Endgame, and in Infinity War it set everything up. Of Thanos, they had to prepare for Thanos coming and doing everything, and then it's the 5 years later and everything is slow. Everybody's gone and dusted, and they have to bring everybody together that are left to save the universe and undo what Thanos did. That's why there are slow moments in Endgame, but it makes sense for those slow moments why there are slow moments. So when you compare, like, when people were saying, there's slow moments all throughout Endgame, and the finale is the only thing that saved them. No, the whole movie was a masterpiece. You needed those slow moments to get to the big moments. You can't just have explosions and all that and expect a movie to be good, especially a conclusion movie. There needs to be those heartfelt moments and the moments that, you really think about the situation. Because when they were dealing with time travel, that's why there were slow moments. So we would explain about the whole, so they can explain the time travel, because when you do stuff with time travel, things need to make sense. You need to take your time. So I hate when people are like, oh, there's slow moments in that, the only thing that saved Endgame was the end sequence, or would we even like Endgame if it didn't have the finale and all that stuff? You can't say that because that was always put that was already in Kevin Feige's mind of that was definitely going to be there. There was no, thinking up at the last moment, we're going to put that in there, we're going to put this in there. Kevin Feige literally had a set plan from day one. He had a set plan of how everything was probably going to go. And yeah, of course, there were some new things added of, we should do this, we should do that. But it worked. That's the thing. I love DC just as much as I love Marvel, but I trust Marvel more because they've never led me astray, and they've done these characters so well, and I love them for that. DC, I'm hoping, I want them to do just as good as Marvel. And, as far as, I haven't really been liking the way DC's been doing things. except in the Snyder Cut. This is a great big step in us as DC fans with this success of the Snyder Cut. And I think, and if we keep going this route where, Zack Snyder pretty much earned to keep continuing either with Warner Bros. Or with HBO Max. I think if he's going to continue with his vision, like what I just saw with Snyder Cut, I'm all for it. He's really redeemed himself in my eyes because, again, I had problems with Man of Steel. I had problems with BVS. I mean, the Ultimate Cut was a hell of a lot better than the version we got in the theaters. But, I mean, of course, I still think there is problems there. But, to be honest, from what I saw from the Snyder Cut, he has earned my respect, and I can't wait to see I'm super happy for us DC fans, and because, again, I'm both. I'm Marvel and DC. I don't like when people say I'm a fanboy of Marvel. I don't like when people say, and that's why I say stuff about this about DC. I am a DC fan just as a Marvel fan. I want them both to do well. I was a Superman fan when I was younger. I'm still a Superman fan. I love the Superman and Lois on the CW. I think that's a great step in the CW DC universe, because I'm telling you, those shows are starting to get trash. So this is pretty much saving that. Superman and Lois and Stargirl are saving the DC TV universe of shows, in my opinion. Again, it's all my opinion on this whole topic. But again, I really do think it's unfair to compare Endgame, like how apparently people are saying they compare Endgame to the Snyder Cut. They're two different films. One's a starting film, one's a conclusion film. It's simple as that. I don't understand why this is even a thing. And it's not fair, again, to the people that really worked hard to get to that conclusion and for it to be successful. That's not fair that you could try to take that from them and take their accomplishments of them becoming the number one movie in the world to hit a certain amount of money, passing Avatar, because only Avatar was only able to hit that point of money range, and then Avengers passed it, and then Avatar just passed it again because they released it again. And so that's why they were over to repass it. But at the end of the day, they're both Disney films, so really they're just trying to beat themselves. So, in all seriousness, I just hate how people are trying to take that win from Avengers Endgame. That's not fair. No one's trying to take anything from the Snyder Cut, any win away from them. This is the DC's first win, in my opinion. That it makes me have faith and hope of the future of the DCEU with Snyder, if they want to bring back Snyder, which I hope they do, because I really like the Snyder Cut. But that's pretty much it. All I really wanted to talk about, I just don't know why we have to take wins away from one. They're two different films. They're two different universes. And I don't know why we got to try to downgrade one or the other. I mean, they're two different films. They're two different universes. I'm a fan of both of them. I'm happy for, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm happy for the DCEU as far as right now. But I don't know where Warner Bros. Are going to go with this. I don't know where HBO Max is going to go with this. This could just be a one-off, and that would suck, to be honest, if it was. I feel like it would be dumb on HBO Max's part and, or Warner Brothers' part. I mean, it's already dumb on Warner Bros. Part because they wouldn't let him do his film. I mean, even though he already had majority of it done, and, a lot of the stuff got taken out, and, Joss Whedon put a whole bunch of other stuff in, but at the end of the day, this is a big win for DC, but, I mean, don't try to take anything from Marvel away. It's not fair at the end of the day. But then again, it comes down to opinion. I just want to come on here and say stuff about that just because it was just annoying me a little bit. It's just, I don't know why we got to take things from these two different universes. I mean, especially a universe that made such an achievement, and I just don't think that's fair to take something away just because one movie that built up. I mean, this movie literally, I think it's also because it made so much. And it's so good on the audience scale is because this movie, the hype has been building up ever since the Joss Whedon cut, I think back in 2016, that there was a Snyder cut and people wanted to push for that to release out because people were a fan of his work. So I feel like it's also the hype that got built up from the fandom of Zack Snyder, and and a lot of people were curious. I was curious to see if it was going to be good because after that Joss Whedon comes, like, oh my god, everything changed, the tone of the way Zack stuff was and everything. I was like, why is this like this? It doesn't match at all. And I was really happy to finally see it match out and play, and it played very well. And I love that movie. I love the Snyder Cut. It was a great movie. He shocked me. He surprised me. I was like, wow. It's shocking to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like a lot of those things about his other movies, but it really fits well here. It fits well. It explains more, and it makes me have less problems with those movies now, because it actually makes sense in the Snyder Cut why everything planned out the way it did, in a way. But so, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and say that, because I wanted to talk to you guys about that. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you guys think that what do you guys think on this matter about the comparing Endgame and the Snyder Cut and which one's better? Do you guys think it's stupid because they're two different movies, or do you guys just think that it doesn't really matter, like if you like one more than the other? I just think, in my opinion, it's dumb, because again, one's a conclusion, one's a starting movie of their team up movie. It's the first one ever, so yeah, I just want to come on here and say that. But I'm gonna end this video here. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.